Shalom. This week's Torah portion brings us back into a description of how the Mishkan, the portable sanctuary in the desert, was to be constructed. But the very beginning of the portion in VaYakhel, we notice what seems like a bit of a detour, which is the reminder of the mitzvah of Shabbat, the commandment to observe the Shabbat in a very specific way, though. A detail is mentioned emphasizing Lo tivaru esh bechol moshevotechem b'yom haShabbat. You shouldn't transfer fire, you shouldn't kindle fire across your dwelling places on the Sabbath day. Now you might wonder what the connection is between the commandments around Shabbat and the construction of the tabernacle. And the specific prohibition concerning the transfer and kindling of fire is also sort of peculiar because we already know that we're not allowed to perform various forms of labor or work on Shabbat. We've already been told to observe the Shabbat in the Ten Commandments a few portions ago. So why specifically now is this mention included here? Now the Talmud offers a number of explanations that are mostly technical in nature. And of course, the 39 categories of work that are prohibited on the Sabbath are actually derived from the different forms of work involved in the construction of the Mishkan. An especially spiritually compelling answer comes later on from the Zohar, which connects the fire mentioned here to anger. In other words, on Shabbat, we should do everything we can not to kindle anger. And this is an important lesson, especially for now, because again, we typically think of Shabbat as the refraining from all sorts of physical manual labor, which of course it is. But we also need to think about the kind of emotional labor in which we find ourselves engaged throughout the week. And sometimes it's not very healthy. And Shabbat really is, as Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel once so beautifully described, a palace in time. It's a sanctuary for us to find our best selves. And so the concept of lo tivaru esh, you shouldn't kindle and transfer fire on Shabbat, is a reminder that all of our dwelling places need to be holy on Shabbat, whether that's our domestic residence or anywhere else. And this week really marks that full year since we've been finding ourselves more and more in our homes. And sometimes it's in our homes where that anger can be felt most acutely. Sometimes if we're stuck in the same place, we end up growing weary or frustrated and take it out on those we love most. So this Torah portion comes along to remind us of the value and the beauty of carving out a space that's not only a respite from physical work, but from psychological burden. So I wish you truly a Shabbat of peace. Shabbat Shalom.